Hi, I'm Kieran Norton, and welcome to the Kieran Norton channel on YouTube. So people say 2020 was a bad year, and I guess it was for a lot of people, but 2021 was a pretty bad year for Western Sydney Rugby Union. So in 2020, the Penrith EMUs were brought back after, I think, 3 years. They were brought back into the SHUTE Shield, which is the New South Wales Rugby Union competition, and in my opinion, the best standard of rugby union in Australia. Better than Super Rugby by a mile. And in 2021, Rugby Union made a decision to kick the Emus out yet again after 3 years. It kind of like, why would you bring him back just to kick him out? It kind of reminds me of that Simpsons, where Lisa's in the second best band in the world and they're about to sing their number 2 hit, and the crowd starts booing. Then Lisa wakes up from the dream and she goes, "Why would they go to our concert just to boo us?" That's the same with Rugby Union. Why would you bring the Emus back just to kick him out? Now, Rugby Union's trying to get away from this North Shore, Eastern Suburbs thing and try to have all Australia play it. And but what they've just done was go against what they're trying to do. They kicked the Emus out. Western Sydney is the home of sport in Sydney. Melbourne may be the home of sport in Australia, but Western Sydney is the home of sport in New South Wales, in Sydney. And they get the Parramatta team, and they think that'd be enough for Western Sydney. But no, Western Sydney is bigger than I think the people from the eastern suburbs realise. They never leave their little area. So they look at the map and see, oh, Penrith, Blacktown, Parramatta, they're all close together on the map. But no, there's like a 20-minute gap from Penrith to Blacktown, then another 20 minutes from Blacktown to Parramatta. It's no one's going to travel from Penrith to watch the Two Blues play. And what's why the name is Two Blues. Emus, that's a good name. Emus, the biggest bird in Australia, second biggest bird in the world. Two Blues, what the hell is that? Now, they Parramatta changed their name to Western Sydney. I think they kind of they might have got a heads up on this. And they go, well, we better change our name so we have the trademark of Western Sydney, even though we're still Parramatta. And we don't even play in Parramatta, we play in Granville. Now, Newcastle so Parramatta and Newcastle and Penrith were the 3 clubs which were in trouble. And Parramatta or Western Sydney and Newcastle got kept. Newcastle, I don't mind. It's a good idea to keep Newcastle. One, they're north of Sydney, and we all know Rugby Union likes North Sydney, or north of Sydney. Plus, Newcastle's isolated. They don't really have that much. They got the Knights and they got the Jets, the A-League team, and Rugby Union. So Rugby Union will probably go well there. My theory on why they kept Parramatta is, one, they kept the Western Sydney. They named themselves Western Sydney, and 2, King's School, which is the elite of the elite in New South Wales, if not Australia. This school is like uber rich. They pretty much have a cricket stadium in their on their grounds. Now, so Kings is kind of counted as North Parramatta. So yeah, keep Parramatta because you got the feeding ground of Rugby Union players and fans school in your district. So yeah, that makes sense. But why can't you keep Penrith as well? I mean, and Penrith beat the Two Blues, which means Penrith, in theory, is a better team at the moment. And a lot of players in the Two Blues team are Penrith juniors. And Penrith, to be fair, and Parramatta's in the same boat. They don't really get much help from Rugby Union. They don't get like Rugby Union should be putting, like, when the player isn't selected for the Waratahs and has to play like reserve grade or whatever you want to call it, they're put into like Sydney Uni or Randwick. Why don't you spread this talent out, make it a full talent competition? Why didn't you get like retired Wallabies to play for Penrith or Parramatta? Rugby Union will pay their wages. They won't count on the salary cap of the Emus if they do have a salary cap in the Shield. Yeah, it's just stupid. It's just one of the reasons why Rugby Union is thinking shit. One is they're on Stan and no one has Stan. I don't even have Stan. I got Paramount Plus to watch the A-League, but I don't have Stan to watch Rugby Union. So Rugby Union had this meeting where they invited, sorry, hay fevers, damn cats, where they invited Parramatta and Newcastle, and it was kind of like they wanted this meeting and they had the opportunity to save themselves. And they must have did a good job because they both saved themselves. But Penrith wasn't invited to this meeting. They weren't even told about this meeting. You know, that's like the ultimate dog act. You know, and since COVID yet again stuffed up the SHUTE shield and made the season stop early, Penrith EMUS had played their last game and they didn't even know it was their last game. So yeah, I'm a big fan of like revenge kind of thing. So I think the ultimate revenge would be, so they're talking about a summer league, rugby league competition to make up for the reserve grade getting shut down to COVID. And I like reserve grade. There's a lot of like old-fashioned teams in reserve grades. Like you have Newtown Jets, North Sydney Bears, Western Sydney Suburbs, Glebe Dirty Reds. And you have Mounties who never played first grade but have this history of good rugby league products. And you got Wentworthville, who was actually meant to have a team before Parramatta, but for some reason didn't. So they're kind of like a historical team. And I like this. And Penrith, they're just called Penrith. Penrith Panthers is just called Penrith Panthers. I like to. It won't happen for many reasons. I like to see Penrith Panthers adopt the Penrith EMUS as their reserve grade team, and they could even play at the Nepean Rugby Park because the rugby won't be played there. Top flight rugby won't be played there anymore. Turn into the Nepean Rugby League Park. You know, it's a good stadium. I really like it. And Penrith reserve grade could play there, and they were smashed with Penrith. So Penrith Rugby League has the biggest depth in Australia. You know, and you know. So there'll be rugby union players here as well. It's just a matter of tapping into it. But the rugby union in Australia are really badly organised and couldn't work out how to look after their assets. But I'd like to see the Penrith Panthers adopt the EMUS as their reserve grade team, and that way the EMUS will survive. Because it is a pretty cool jersey. Not many teams are this type of colour. It won't happen. It's kind of like when I was talking about, I did a video on rugby league expansion, and I said, instead of calling it the Perth Pirates or relocating Cronulla to Perth, they should get the Western Force to become a rugby league team. Because one, they got a cool jersey, they got a cool brand, they have a stadium, they have a backer, they got fans, and they got players. And now I know rugby union is different to rugby league. From a distance, it looks like the same game, but close up, it's totally different. But some of those players could adapt. I mean, rugby league and rugby union are more closely related to let's say rugby league and football and baseball, or rugby union and ping pong. You know, yeah. I've kind of gone astray, but yeah, it just sucks that the SHUTE shield, the best quality of rugby union in Australia, has taken a massive dump on Western Sydney rugby league. And Parramatta, yeah, you could say that was Western Sydney, but it's nowhere near. It's cut off to the rest of rugby, Western Sydney, and it doesn't really have the Western Sydney vibe anymore. Parramatta is becoming its own city. It's leaving Western Sydney behind. Sure, it's located in Western Sydney, but it's not like Penrith or Blacktown. Yeah. And you would have rugby union fans in the mountains as well. Mountains is a bit posh, especially like Lura. Glenbrook's the new $1 million suburb in Sydney. It's like, and if you have millions of dollars, what do? You watch rugby union. That's just what happens when you're rich. You start craving watching rugby union. You know. Anyway, that's my video. R.I.P. Penrith EMUS. Maybe another 3 years he could get brought back for half a season. Yeah. It's terrible. Please like the video, please subscribe, please comment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Kieran Don, out.